have wanted to have go up against Glen Durrant, a man who has won a title already in his very brief PDC career, who has made a final and has been playing regular ton-plus average stuff. Jamie Hughes does not have a title to his name. He doesn't even have a quarter-final to his name as yet. But the standard of darts he's been producing has been magnificent. Nobody wanted to get pitted against either of these two. Somebody had to. It turns out it's each other. On paper, this is the standout tie from round one here in Munich tonight. Let's see if it lives up to the billing. It is the three-time Lakeside World Champion, Duzza Glen Durrant, against Yozza Jamie Hughes for a spot in the second round to face Joe Cullen, one of the most devastating Euro Tour players over the last 2-3 years or so. Paul Nicholson in the commentary box for the penultimate game of the night, Duzza and Yozza.
So, ladies and gentlemen, first leg, it's Glen to throw first. Game on.
Well, in the spirit of those nicknames, we should give our referee a nickname with 2 Z's in it. Kizza. No?
Bezza?
That works.
96.
Yeah, very good game this. These guys know each other very, very well. They've been playing against each other for years.
They have. And the majority of them have been won by Glen Durrant, including a couple at the Lakeside. The most recent one, a semi-final, where Yozza had been playing fantastically all the way through the tournament, and then it got to the semi-final, he just wasn't there. And Glen wiped the floor with him 6-1. But despite the fact that that was in a run of 10 consecutive victories for Glen over Yozza, the one time they've met in PDC darts,
100.
Remember, this is the first year these two have been on the tour. Yozza did play Challenge Tour stuff last year. The one time they've met was in a qualifier for the Euro Tour in Graz, which is coming up a couple of weeks from now. And Yozza did do it over there.
Yeah, didn't disappoint either. Average was around the 100 mark. And Yozza then went on to qualify because the game was a first round tie.
134.
Yozza then went on to win his final match with a big average of 104 and qualified for the Austrian event as well. Glenn said already how much he's enjoying his time in the PDC in the last couple of months. Why not? He's already in the frame to go to match play.
136.
Well, this match has started in the vein that we expected it to do.
Staying up top for double 16.
96.
Now, can Jamie Hughes take a first break of throw in the very first leg? Can he get 16s?
16.
Vital misses maybe.
Threw
that with so much ferocity. Just pulled it a tad and gives Glen another opportunity.
Game shot the first leg.
And he does take it.
Second leg
for 1 mil in this one, a 17 darter. Nod of the head from Duzza. I do. Every time I watch Jamie Hughes, I just expect him to be averaging a ton, and sometimes I expect him to be going 105, 107. He just looks that convincing, and things have to change for him. He has not made it beyond the last 16 of anything so far this year, and I don't see how that can continue if he keeps on playing this standard of stuff. He has been unfortunate, but I'm a bit puzzled in some ways as to how Yozza didn't win more in the BDO, because yes, he did pick up titles, but he looks like a man who should have been winning big things left, right and centre with the way that he can play darts.
He's very highly ranked.
Yeah, he certainly up there.
He was top 3.
Yeah, 2017 he won things like the British Classic and the Isle of Man Classic. Well, if he gets to a final, he wins it. He's very good.
85.
But
Bodes well for the future then.
well, yeah, it does, and I just think that he's not a player who doesn't know what that winning feeling feels like, and that's an important thing. I mean, I'm sure you'd have felt that when you started playing professionally. Sometimes it takes that first win just to convince you, just so you know what it's about.
Well, for me, the first professional win that I had was in the Australian Open against the guy who beat me in the Australian Open the previous year. So it felt like a bit of deja vu.
But did you feel better prepared the following year because you knew what that experience was going to be like?
Absolutely. It did help that Mark Walsh missed 3 darts at tops in the semi-final to beat me. So you do need a bit of luck sometimes. But Jamie's going to need 3 bits of brilliance here. He's not going to get them. Glen Durrant has a very realistic opportunity of getting that break that Jamie should have got in the first leg.
What has impressed me more than anything about Glen Durrant is his ability, his timing, his ability to take these kind of chances. But he doesn't take this one.
Very reminiscent of the break opportunity that Jamie had in the last leg and squandered. 1 dart he will get. That dart is at tops. Ooh, did that flick the flight on the way through?
He does throw a very long dart, Jamie Hughes. I was surprised his decision to leave tops, to be honest.
6 for Duzza. Very good.
On the second leg, Glen.
Very authoritative.
Third leg, it's Glen to throw first. Game on.
Been a few tongue twisters there. 6 for Duzza. Try to see that a few times in a row. Look at the ferocity he's throwing these darts with. Both of these guys have got really powerful throws. Jamie Hughes in particular, I've stuck my neck out on a few occasions and said that he's probably got the best darting second half in the world. I think he's got the best follow through of anybody.
I mean, it does. I have to say, watching him, everything seems there. Everything seems there for him to be a top player. You know, the action is great, the temperament is great, the high ceiling of performance is there. We know when he's really firing, he can. It's not just the 107 averages we're talking about. He's a man who's averaged 125.
93.
Yeah, he looks to me like the kind of guy who tells his darts what to do and they don't talk back. Well, if Glen's been talking to his darts for the last 5 years, they've been doing what they're told. He's done very, very well.
30.
3 Lakeside titles, World Master, Fender Master. I could be talking all night.
Yeah, and particularly proud to win a PDC title in such a short space of time, just his 4th ranking event in the PDC.
And he's going to be one of those nightmare floaters at Blackpool, providing he gets there, of course. It's not an absolute shoo-in at this point, but
77.
imagine getting him in the first round.
Well, there's going to be a lot of first-timers at Blackpool this year, and a lot of people in some really impressive form, as Yozza looks at 60 for the ball. Not going to get it, and Durrant, 114 checkout. Now, what we're seeing so far in this game, they're both getting darts to win legs. This could break the trend. Tops. And Duzza has it for a 15-darter.
The difference in this match so far can be categorised from the last 6 darts thrown. Jamie threw 3 good darts, but all just the wrong side of the wire. And then Glen pokes in a lovely finish. This game could easily be 3-0 the other way for me. But Glen just has this habit sometimes of eking out these results and making them look so much more comfortable.
There are moments in games, and there are moments that happen all the time, and obviously at the end of legs is the obvious one. But you might be second favourite to win a leg, but all of a sudden, a good set-up shot and a good finish, 1 dart at double, and you've seen off 220 points in a couple of visits or whatever, and you get that leg. And he's really good at stepping up and delivering in those key moments.
say one thing.
140.
Glen looks very sharp tonight. That is bad news for Jamie Hughes. It could be very bad news for Joe Cullen.
Well, at the same time, I mean, Jamie Hughes is averaging significantly more than does.
Of course he is. That's what Jamie Hughes does.
Yeah, that's it.
64.
Starting on the 18s.
Yeah, he was looking for 3 18s and then the treble 20 there to leave the 170. Could have easily gone to the 60 with the second dart and stayed there, but Jamie will stay there. Now he goes to the 18s.
98.
You see, this is one of these situations, these moments. Glen Durrant, if he sees 206 off in 2 visits, he might well come away be 4-0 up, and this game is in the palm of his hand. He's relying on Yoza missing.
He's thinking 174.
100.
And he will not be happy with that.
60.
Big dart he's got to avoid there.
That's a good shot. Only got half the bet away, Matt, and the camera angle proved that. That was a very, very good shot, because Glen is the kind of player who would just creep up behind you and nick that 106, just like the 114. So he keeps himself in it, Jamie Hughes. He needs to stay with Glen and kick a little bit more on the score, and I feel.
Just kind of a lull in the crowd here. This is the standout game on paper, but I think 11 legs of the German number 3, and the ultimate disappointment of not seeing their man go through, might have just taken it out of them a bit.
It's almost ridiculous to refer to Clemens as the number 3 in Germany, considering the success he's had in the first 15 months of his pro career.
I mean, you can make a case that he's currently the informed German player.
Stay there, Glen. Another one leaves 132. That leaves 170. Good use of the board. And Jamie's going to need that too from 268. Has to go 18s here.
And now he can't leave a finish.
Exactly. You get the 18, you can still use dart 3 to leave a finish. Whereas in that spot there, you get the 20, you can't leave one. So now Glen has 6 darts and 170, but he may only need 3. The fishing rod is out. He's going for the ball.
Kim Huybrecht's impressed with that one. Who isn't? Dozer. No need for it. Pins it anyway. 4-1.
Sometimes you just got to put a marker down.
100.
And nobody wants to miss the 170. They don't want to go for the 10 or the 18. They want to go for the bull. Great shot from Glen.
Big fan of using the treble 19s. Is Glen Durrant. Does hit certainly in his runs to the finals on the Pro Tour. The opening couple of weekends, where he made a final on the first Sunday and then one on the second Sunday. The number of 174s and 177s he was hitting were vast.
It's almost weird not seeing him in a red shirt.
Yeah, I don't really understand why he's done it either. I know he said that it's sort of a new chapter for him and everything, but when he's been so closely tied up to that whole red shirt Middlesbrough thing, I mean, the flights are the same. He's not changed them.
Well, isn't there's a rule, isn't there, that about football colours? I think maybe he just saw it as a bit of a time to have a change. Sometimes they say a change is as good as a rest.
Oh.
I don't know what the Middlesbrough away kit's like. Maybe it's blue and black.
Well, he's putting Jamie Hughes under the cosh here and averaging in excess of 100. Glen Durrant.
57.
That's not enough. Just not there for Yoza.
He's going to go conventional. And conventionally, he'll go for treble 14. Nice and high for this one. Perfectly done. Just cantering at a very good pace. And he's also doing it in some very new shiny shoes as well. I noticed that on his walk on. He's almost taken over Kevin Painter's mantle as the shiniest shoe on the hockey.
Tops for 5-1. The wire's bent. Wow.
Jamie won 91.
A surprise.
Well, he's going to look at the ball here. That's a perfect shot to leave double 16. Needs it.
75.
I think there's a look of resignation there because he feels that Durrant's getting this double 10 now. And he's going to have to hit 5 straight legs against the 3-time Lakeside champ.
Yeah, it's on the 6th leg.
It's a very hard ask. We know he can do it, but he may need that 125 average level just to give himself the opportunity.
And he didn't realise he'd had his throw broken there either, Yozza. He has been bamboozled by Duzza in this one. And it may not last much longer.
99.
Three world champions in action tonight. Didn't start well for them because Steve Beaton was well beaten by the unreal scoring of Nathan Derry. Stephen Bunting managed to come through against Alan Norris. Pretty impressive display from the Bullet. Averaged almost a ton. 60% on his doubles. But Glen Durrant has been just as impressive in this one.
Yeah, he's definitely putting in the performance of the day so far for me. Just ultimately professional. No emotion. Even on the 170 checkout. Just plodding along, doing the job. And again on 265, he goes to 19s. Looking to fill it up.
170.
And again, we see Durrant able to find the 57, seemingly at will. And 94 points is all that stands between him and a clash with Joe Cullen in the second round. A parting gift from Yozza.
January 1,
I think that's what they call in French la résistance. But Glen Durrant is looking to finish things off with a 19 in bull. Bullseye to finish it off. Oh, just over the top. He thought that was in.
Wasn't even sure he could do that with that first dart kind of laying across the top of it, but he found a way. Oh, wow.
Doesn't like that dart. Jamie, you've got one left.
70.
Well, Jamie Hughes has pinned the bullseye a couple of times in this match with no bother at all, but unfortunately, he's only hit one double in the game.